Gather around as we explore the haunting story of the Holloway Manor, the Whispering Shadows. On a Halloween night when the moon hung low, cloaked in a shroud of clouds, the wind howled through the streets of Ravenwood, an eerie town steeped in dark lore. At the end of Millbury Lane stood a decaying house, the last remnant of the Withers family, who had vanished without a trace decades ago. Locals spoke in hushed whispers about the cursed abode, warning that it was home to restless spirits and unearthly horrors. Yet the lure of the unknown drew a group of reckless teenagers, eager to prove their bravery and taste the thrill of fear. As they approached the house, the air grew thick with an oppressive silence, broken only by the rustling of dry leaves that skittered across the cracked pavement. The moonlight illuminated the gnarled branches overhead, casting monstrous shadows that danced along the ground. Alex, the most daring of the group, pushed the rotting door open, and it groaned like a wounded animal, welcoming them into a suffocating darkness. Inside, the scent of mildew and decay assaulted their senses, but it was the whispers that sent icy shivers racing down their spines, soft, pleading voices that seemed to seep from the walls themselves. "Get out! Help us!" The words wrapped around them like a noose, tightening with each step they took. They ventured deeper into the bowels of the house, each room a snapshot of despair. Faded photographs hung crookedly on the walls, eyes wide and mournful, and dust-covered furniture sat as if frozen in time, each piece a ghost of a life once lived. Just as they began to settle into the eerie atmosphere, a sudden crash shattered the stillness, resonating from the upper floor. It sounded like a scream caught in a chokehold, a cry of terror echoing from the past. "It's probably just the wind," Alex muttered, though his voice trembled with uncertainty. But curiosity pushed them onward, and they climbed the creaking staircase, each step a reminder of the weight of their folly. The whispers morphed into frantic cries, beckoning them to turn back, warning them of the horrors that awaited. But the thrill of the unknown had gripped them too tightly. Reaching the top of the stairs, they found themselves in a narrow hallway shrouded in darkness, with a single door standing ajar at the end. Shadows writhed along the walls, twisting into grotesque shapes, whispering their names in desperate tones. The once gentle whispers now roared like a storm. "Help us! Help us!" It was a cacophony of despair that pierced their hearts with terror. With a mix of dread and curiosity, they approached the door, pushing it open to reveal a child's bedroom, untouched by time. The air inside was suffocatingly still, and the walls were adorned with peeling wallpaper depicting cheerful scenes that stood in stark contrast to the sinister atmosphere. A small bed lay in the corner, perfectly made, yet a palpable sense of foreboding filled the room. But it was the mirror on the wall that held their gaze, a dark, swirling abyss that beckoned them closer. As they looked into the mirror, their reflections twisted into grotesque parodies, their faces contorting in fear and agony. But it wasn't just their faces they saw, it was the ghostly figures of the Withers family trapped within, their eyes wide with terror, mouths moving in a silent scream. "Help us," they pleaded, their voices rising in pitch and desperation. The shadows in the room grew thicker, dark tendrils snaking towards them, pulling them in with an insatiable hunger. Panic surged through the group, and Alex screamed for them to run, but the door slammed shut with a thunderous bang, sealing their fate. Shadows enveloped them, fingers of darkness curling around their throats, squeezing until they gasped for air. One by one, his friends succumbed to the overwhelming darkness, their screams cut short as they were dragged into the swirling void of the mirror, joining the tormented souls of the Withers family. "No, please!" Alex cried, but it was too late.